No, we're not quite to the weekend yet, but kind of have a lot to focus on this weekend with the game and how cold it's going to be.
Brisk is we'll just put it kind of.
It's cold.
Nicely that way, yeah.
It's cold.
Okay, cold is one other way. A lot of folks will describe it that way. We'll talk about that coming up. Let's talk about what it's like out there for you tomorrow morning, which also many folks would consider cold to start. Frosty, maybe a little bit more even than what we had this morning. Temperature might be a degree or two colder by the time we get you to lunch. More clouds are coming back in. Not quite as cool. In fact, that's close to what we had for a high today. And by the afternoon hours tomorrow, clouds more so, I think, than sun will be in the mid-60s. It'll be breezy, but hey, that's kind of warm, sort of. It's better than we have been. Let's talk about all this. First, the frost potential and why we did not get a frost in a lot of places last night. At least didn't see much on the ground. What goes on when you have a night is that heat from the day radiates up towards space. When you have a blanket, even a thin blanket, like that little layer of clouds we had last night, it's enough to keep the heat in. And so we weren't able to get as cold as we otherwise would have. That kind of prevents frost formations when you have a thin cloud deck. Tonight's a different story. What we have is a clear sky, beautiful clear sky at that. The moon and Mars right next to each other out there. We're watching the heat radiating on up into space. That allows the atmosphere at ground level to get to the coldest that it possibly can given the atmosphere state. And so frost becomes a better possibility. And thus, here is your frost advisory from 127 east. And with that, we're looking at low temperatures, most of us in the mid-30s. Now, this morning in Lexington, we did have that 36-degree low temperature, and that's considered the frost point. So when it goes into the record books, the 18th of October will be the year 2018 had its first frost, even if you didn't see any at your house. Now, the dew point temperature is something else we look at. You need dry air for the temperature to be able to fall, and that's basically your basement temperature. And with that, you're looking at low 30s, low and mid 30s for most, so that's about as low as we can get tonight. So with that, the frost advisory, take 2 is out there. Tomorrow, we're going to make the 60s seem warm because we've been in the 50s a lot lately, so it's better. Cat's Cash for Saturday night. It is going to be brisk. It's going to be blustery. Temperatures will be falling. There's a small rain chance as we get you on into the evening hours. 42 at the Bluegrass Airport, 57-36 your range of temperatures. No wind to speak of. Dry air, clear sky, light winds. Radiational cooling at its finest. Upper 30s, low 40s here at 11 o'clock, so it is getting colder out there tonight, as we would expect on a clear night. Monticello kind of leading the way there at 37. Mount Sterling, though, is at 36. Max Track Live Doppler's quiet. Those were the leftover clouds from last night that caused the lack of frost in places. Rain and clouds building out here to the west. You see them beginning to stream eastward, although the clouds won't get here till the morning. So we are looking at a pretty decent setup for tonight. High pressure is right overhead. You notice there are no isobars around, so there's no wind. We're sitting at the center of the high. That high is drifting off to the east tonight. Warm front will pass by tomorrow. Turns our winds to the southwest. When that happens, bump the temperature up. By the latter part of the day, rain's beginning to encroach, but really the bulk of the rain will be tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Get you into Saturday morning, the first of 2 cold fronts going through. Still some rain associated with that. That pushes to the south. We may get some sunshine during the latter part of the day. Then the secondary cold front arrives during the evening. That brings a few showers along with it as well. More importantly, it brings the much colder air. Frost advisory, mainly clear down to the mid-30s tonight. Early sun tomorrow, the clouds increase breezy. Highs get up to the mid-60s. Small rain chance late in the day, much better chance tomorrow night. That lasts into Saturday morning. A break for a while, then another rain chance late in the afternoon into the evening. Game temperatures will be in the low 40s by the end of the game on Saturday.